Hi guys, here I am again with Ode to the West Wind, a lovely poem by Percy Shelley. Notice that this is an ode, the first of a couple we'll read. An ode is a song of praise, or in this case a poem of praise. And I've put on this picture because the poem takes place in autumn. And the poem is by Percy Bysshe Shelley, husband of Mary Shelley. And here he is, a lovely romantic poet. Once again, we're going to see his house down in Rome. And he was a great writer. Tragic end, died young, only 30 years old, of drowning. And we'll read about his funeral a little bit later in the course. And this ode is slightly more difficult to read than we've covered so far. So I've just done a few things to get around that. As you can see, I've marked a few of the words in colors, and then they are up here in as a sort of vocabulary. Thou, which occurs several times, simply means you. Enchanter, which we have here, means magician. Chariotist is here a verb. A chariot, without the est. A chariot is a kind of wagon for war that's pulled by horses. And to chariot something, then, that is, the verb form would be to drive somebody on a chariot. So that's what that means. Azire means clear blue, the color of the Mediterranean. And finally, clarion in this verse means trumpet. The other thing to note is that even though, as you can see, each verse has got several stanzas in it, this poem, sort of the difficulty of this poem is that the lines run on across the different stanzas, so the meaning doesn't stop just because there's a space here. The meaning continues down through the poem, and you have to sort of read it quickly, mirroring the blowing of the wind, and that can be slightly confusing, so that's why I made this video to hopefully help you. And the poem goes: O wild west wind, thou breath of autumn's being, thou from whose unseen presence the leaves dead are driven like ghosts from an enchanter fleeing. Yellow and black and pale and hectic red, pestilence striking multitudes, O thou who chariotest to their dark wintry bed the winged seeds where they lie cold and low. As you can see, the meaning goes on and it continues on here, but I just make a short break just to explain a few things. So the Wild West is the breath of autumn's being. I hope you can see the metaphor there. And from the unseen presence, the invisible presence of the wind, the dead leaves, the leaves dead, are driven. They're driven away like ghosts from an enchanter fleeing, and the leaves are likened to ghosts running away from a magician or a wizard. Okay, yellow and black and pale and hectic red, those are the colors of the leaves. The meaning of the line continues here. Pestilence striking multitudes, so the leaves look like people who are sick, who's got pestilence, who's got the plague maybe. And then continues, O thou, that is, O you, again, he's speaking to the wind throughout, O you, who chariotest to their dark wintry bed, who drive to the dark wintry bed the winged seeds. The seeds, of course, are little seeds that are going, that the wind spreads across the land so they can grow up to become new crops or plants in the spring, where they lie cold and low, so they lie cold and low in their beds. Each like a corpse within its grave, until thine Azire, sister of the spring, shall blow her clarion over the dreaming earth and fill, driving sweet buds like flocks to feed in air, with living hues and odors plain and hill. Make a short break again here. So the west wind places the seeds in the ground where they lie in the cold, like corpses buried underground. Corpses in graves, until the west wind's sister wind, the blue wind of the summer, blows her clarion, her trumpet, over the sleeping earth, and fills it with colors. Hues means colors, and odors, that smells. Fills the hills, fills nature with smells and colors when the spring comes. So that's what he's saying, and then we get to the sort of chorus of this lovely poem. Wild spirit which art moving everywhere, destroyer and preserver, hear, oh hear. So he's calling to the wind, the spirit that is moving everywhere, to hear him. That's the first verse, and then we're going to read the last verse as well. And the last verse again has a few words that we just need to go over. It has the word lyre, which is a kind of musical instrument akin to an ancient guitar. It has the word thy. Thy just means your, so that shouldn't be hard. Autumnal. Autumnal, autumn-like. It's an adjective. So if something is autumnal, it is similar to autumn. You have an autumnal face. That might mean your face is serious, autumn-like. Impetuous means reckless, wild and reckless is maybe a good explanation. Then we have incantation. Incantation just means if you do an incantation, you speak or you chant. Chant is a rhythmic speaking, and it's often something to do with magic. So to do an incantation is to speak a verse of magic. Bear that in mind. An unextinguished hearth is a fireplace that is not extinguished. That means it is lit. The fire is burning in the fireplace. So keep those words in mind. We'll go through the verse. I think I'll read it all this time and go back and explain line by line what it means. So we start up here. Make me thy lyre, even as the forest is. What if my leaves are falling like its own? The tumult of thy mighty harmonies will take from both a deep autumnal tone. Sweet though in sadness, be thou, spirit fierce, my spirit, be thou me, impetuous one. Drive my dead thoughts over the universe, like withered leaves to quicken a new birth, and by the incantation of this verse, scatter as from an unextinguished hearth, ashes and sparks, my words among mankind. Be through my lips to unawakened earth the trumpet of prophecy, O wind. If winter comes, can spring be far behind? Alright, going through it line by line. Make me thy lyre, even as the forest is. He asks the wind to make him, that is, the poet asks the wind to make him the musical instrument of the wind, just like the forest is. The wind blows through the forest, and the forest makes music, you could say, the rattling of the leaves in autumn, and the poet, he longs to be similar to the forest, to become the musical instrument of the wind. So what if my leaves are falling like the forest's leaves? He's losing himself or becoming older, or something like that. And then these two lines belong together. The tumult of thy mighty harmonies will take from both a deep autumnal tone, sweet though in sadness. So the loudness or might or power of the wind will take from the death of the forest, the falling of the trees, and the death or fading of the poet, a deep autumn-like tone that is sweet though it is sad. So please, spirit, wind, be my spirit, be me, wild one, he says, right? Drive my dead thoughts over the universe. That is, the wind, he imagines that, his thoughts, the poet's thoughts, can be spread all over the universe by the wind, just like the leaves, like the withered leaves, to quicken a new birth, because the dead, just like the wind spreading the seeds and the dead leaves across the land, it could also spread his thoughts, and that would then set the stage for a new birth for spring to come. And by the incantation of this verse, that is, by the speaking of this magical verse, scatter as from an unextinguished hearth, ashes and sparks, my words among mankind. Then he compares, before he compared his words, thoughts to leaves, now he compares them to sparks, that is the sparks from the fireplace. And so he wants his his words to be like sparks spread among humans, so they can light a fire in the world. Of course, this is all metaphorical. Be through, and then these two lines belong together, be through my lips to unawakened earth the trumpet of prophecy. So blow through my lips and be the trumpet of prophecy. That is, speak of things that are to come. And then these final mysterious lines, O wind, if winter comes, can spring be far behind. Well, we'll have a look at that in class. I hope you enjoyed this. If you still find the poem difficult, I encourage you to just listen to this recording one more time, or even 2 more times. Just takes 10 minutes each time, and who wouldn't want to spend a little more time with this lovely, well, truly beautiful poem. That's actually what I think. I hope you are enjoying your time, and I will see you soon. Bye!